Hey, Trey, here we are.
Episode 68 of the Beyond the Curve of the MX podcast. This is a preview review because we don't have results. It's Thursday. Ain't gonna lie. We thought we were gonna be shooting a podcast, and then you thought you were gonna go be taking out a shooter because for some reason in Polk County we have decided that it is cool to make active shooter threats in Polk County right now because one person did it in Georgia, and it's like, oh, neat. I just saw a story literally as you canceled. I was looking to see where this was because I needed to go places. Polk County has arrested 24 students or people already this year for making threats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why my wife called me and said that there's a possible active shooter at one of the schools. So I made a phone call and I grabbed the AR, got locked and loaded, and our kids go to a private Christian school, so that's usually a target. So we
I mean, I was going to go get breakfast since we weren't going
Yeah.
going to shoot a podcast. You were going to go shoot a criminal, but no. Episode 68. Real quick, we're going to touch on the racing. We have no results. We know who won. We're going to touch on the results, touch on stories, touch on the preview, and then we're going to get out of here. Real quick, the track was atrocious in Texas, and I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, it was a nice turn of events.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of BS went on, but we needed a track like that. We needed to change it just a little bit. Yeah, we don't get to see that very often.
No, that track was baked in. It was hot.
Mm-hmm.
It was there weren't that many races this year that were actually hot. We got weather, we got track conditions, and guess what? The good guys were still the good guys.
Yeah, and we put those guys to the test.
Yeah. And they said, hey, I don't want to ride this again. But as Deegan said, and god dang, man, that kid's just good. He's just good. But nonetheless, he said, man, this reminded me of riding at Paula on a Thursday. Mm-hmm. Or whenever they ride out there.
When it's not groomed.
Yeah, when it's not groomed and it's baked out. And it's like, cool. Well, they used to race on Carlsbad.
Mm-hmm.
Was a track that was famous. And it looked like a highway.
Yeah.
So my thought was, I don't mind. Do I want to see every race like that? Probably not. But it was kind of cool that you had to think.
That's the total opposite of a mud race. I mean, That's exactly what that was. Hot, dry, hard packed.
Yeah.
The track got nasty.
And there were some cool obstacles. Like there were some cool, if you didn't hit this right, it was going to mess you up.
Yeah.
But if you picked the right line, you had some options.
The track definitely had an outdoors feel to me.
Yeah.
Like, truthfully, that was an SMX track.
Yeah, because there was only one true rhythm lane.
Yeah, but being that hard, I mean, you never see a supercross track in that condition. So it was nice to bring the outdoor elements into a supercross track like that.
Couple stories, headline, Deegan does Deegan things. I guess my question on Deegan is, he rides for Monster Star Yamaha, but is he really just kind of in IndyCar and NASCAR? There's these things called technical alliances. He was running a number plate that no one else on the team was running.
His gear's his own gear.
Yeah, is he riding for Star, or does he have a technical alliance with Star? Because why didn't the whole team run this number? Which I also thought was funny is, I have a 2021 or 22 Yamaha, and the number plate is in the middle. And I can understand on old bikes, but most of the air intake for a Yamaha is off of the fairings.
Mm-hmm.
So it was cool that they were running that number plate, but did it really matter?
I mean, it does give it a lot more airflow.
Yeah, but the air's coming off the sides.
Yeah, you're getting it out front too. I mean, obviously it makes a difference. His bike wasn't overheating. There really was no bikes overheating, which was actually surprising to me that they weren't burning clutches. Like I said, the brutal opposite of a mud race. But as hot as that was, that's pretty harsh on a bike.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was a. But I'm just curious. I'm curious of that story. No clickbait, which we'll touch on. No clickbait there, but I'm just curious. Like, is he actually riding for Star, or is Star just the one supplying the bikes and the family? Because they talk about it a lot about how much Brian is involved in the program.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I mean, he gets his own helmets, his own gear.
Yeah.
His bikes are always special. there's something going on. There's more contracts somewhere. There's agreements on contracts that somewhere they commingle with something.
Yeah.
If he's like his own brand and that was the deal, or what?
Yeah. No, but Deegan looked good. There were some good rides to be had on the 250 side. RJ did RJ things again. He didn't even crash hard. He just fell over. Shimoda, Kitchen. I just think, like as we talked about a couple episodes ago and last episode, if you're going to want to beat Deegan, one, keep your mouth shut and start telling the kid how good he is.
Yeah.
We used to have this thing when I was a tennis coach and player. When someone was doing really good, we would like tell, "Oh man, that is so good." Because what happens is they're like, see, they're even recognizing, and they try to do even better, and then they blow up. Deegan loves for you to say, "I don't like your toenails." Okay, well, I'm going to kill you now.
Yeah.
If all these guys would just get to the point, instead of feeding the furnace, just cool them off a little bit. Man, you're amazing. You're so good. And go the opposite direction, because he has even said, "I'm looking for anything for motivation."
See, but I feel like you start telling him that, he's going to get a big head. It's going to be the same effect.
But sometimes,
I mean, he's already got a big head as it is.
But sometimes people can't handle the positive.
That's true.
The as James Stewart said, and it was perfect. He rides like if he doesn't win, he doesn't eat.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I'm ad-libbing, but basically he's riding like he came from nothing.
Yeah.
And we know he came from something. There's a phenomenon happening in the world of tennis right now, and Formula One. The number 1 or 2 player in the world, her dad's a billionaire, but she's number 1 or 2 in the world right now because she's got a personal desire.
Yeah.
Deegan, he's got a desire. Whatever they're feeding him that's working, the kid's putting in the work. He's not getting tired. I watch him. His style on the bike does not change from the start of the moto to the end of the moto. There's no tired. There's no slacking off. There's no nothing. He is the last lap of the race. He's going into the corner, over the handlebars, sitting down, standing up. His style does not change. So whatever they've done to him through the training process, feeding him that. So as the competitor, 1, I have to get better, but 2, I'm going to stop feeding the engine and I'm going to start feeding into the engine.
Yeah, it's maybe the positivity will kind of break the edge in a way. You know what I mean?
We got to try something.
You start being positive. He could be like, yeah, well, I'm the best out here while he's out there on the track. And next thing you know, he's making mistakes.
Yeah.
And it could work.
Yeah.
I mean, that could work. But the fact that he ran the fastest lap time out of anybody on that track, 450s or 250s, the boy's got some trouble.
Well, he's going after 450 riders. He's going after the media, which is funny because like he went after Steve Mathis this week at Pulp, and Steve's like, I keep saying how good the kid is. Like, I don't have a problem.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like some of the. It's all right as us sitting here, high media people, business owners, fans. It's all right for us to not like some of the tactics and still appreciate what you're doing. But the family feeds on that. So if the consumer, he's got his fans, cool. Those of us who don't, man, he's really good. We have to play the game. Riders have to play the game and say, hey, man, God, I don't know what we're going to do.
Yeah. There's got to be some kind of strategy somewhere. But like you said, the kid's good. I mean, there's no way around it. I mean, attitude, whatever he's got going on, it is what it is. He's still a kid.
Yeah.
I get that part of it. It gives me a little bit of a grievance against him, I guess. But as far as skill, I mean, there's not many that are as fast as he is. So,
anything else on the 250 side?
Not really. I mean, Joe Shimoda put in a good run.
There's no pressure.
Yeah, it was surprising. Levi looked pretty good.
Levi did look good. I think honestly, it was quite the good prelude to Vegas, because we know Vegas is going to be pretty hard packed unless they have a miraculous storm. Vegas could potentially be similar to what they had this past weekend. We're going back to the 4-way drag strip, so we're going to have the little walls over the top. I think there's only 2 walls this race. I don't think there's 4. I think it's just 2 walls.
I think so. I can't remember.
I can't remember either, but I think it's just 2 walls. So I saw the layout of the track. I think these tracks are actually pretty cool. The only question I have on this track, and we'll get back to the review, they come together, and they go over the over-under. The over-under is only there to get the riders from the 2 split gates. I can't imagine that over-under survives actual build, because they literally start, turn right, and all 22 riders are going over the over-under at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't see that one playing. Maybe they put like a crosswalk up, and as traffic goes, then you can cross over, because I just can't imagine that the over-under is going to work there. 22 guys at an over-under at the start.
I've never seen how they actually build them, but
it's its own truck. From what I've heard.
I mean, their integrity. So I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens, but
because the over-under this weekend claimed 3 riders.
Yeah, that thing was nasty.
Yeah.
I want to look at the track map real quick while we're talking about it.
Well, we'll go back to the review. 250s were good, but Deegan just kind of ran away. There were some good rides from the back to the front. 450s, Moto 1, maybe one of the best races of the year. We got to touch on Jet. Jet had a little temper tantrum. Is he mad at his brother? Is he mad at the bike? Is he mad at himself? He stalled, supposedly, reading some stories. He stalled in practice, he stalled in qualifying, and he stalled in Moto 1. Was someone mentioned on the broadcast, could that potentially have been something to do with the arm? Who was he mad at? Because he was not happy all day long.
Yeah,
I haven't seen.
It could have been an outside aspect of it. I mean,
I haven't seen anything. I've tried to find.
He's just an angry person.
Is he mad that his brother actually won something? I didn't see anything that his brother did to cause him to be angry. I didn't see anything Tomac did. I didn't see anything Chase did. I didn't see anything in the racing that would have made him pissed off.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this track map for next weekend. I don't see where it's going to be an issue, because they do the start. It's the double over. So they double over that line.
Oh, okay.
It's not a tunnel jump.
That's Texas. That's not Vegas.
Looks like Vegas to me.
No, Vegas is literally they split start and they come back together.
Yeah, you're right. Clicked on the wrong one.
That's all right. Hunter.
I'm looking at this.
Hunter, and I loved Hunter's comment. Eli was relentless. Eli's back. Eli's riding good. Even in the second moto, Eli rode good. And Hunter, I love Hunter's. Yeah, you hear that Yamaha behind you, and you're like, oh, poor bike. And I thought that was the best line.
Well, dude, I mean, he beats that bike. I see what you're talking about now. They got 2 tunnels.
So Hunter did something Hunter's not been able to do.
Yeah, and he looked good doing it. Like, he was smooth, consistent. Yeah. That boy was on rails. If he had been like that all season, seasons could have. I mean, outdoors would have been drastically changed, I think.
I do have a question. Actually, not a question. It's more of a thought and a comment. You watched Eli, Jet, and Hunter in that first moto. They each made mistakes, but they all recovered. And the fact that Eli was chasing Hunter, being chased by Jet. Jet was chasing Eli. None of them cracked. And I think that is so cool they were there. Like, that was a true race.
Yeah.
I don't even think Jet cracked when he got passed by Hunter. I think the bike stalled. He stalled. I don't consider that a crack. He didn't fall. Like,
he was angry about that.
Yes.
Like, we're going to go back and we're going to have a meeting.
Yeah.
Like, you don't really hear that stuff on interviews like that.
And we're going to talk about meetings and companies. Mm-hmm. But overall, I think the racing was good. In like the second moto, I don't think Jet rode poorly. I just think like it's very start dependent. But it's also like Jet had the lead, and had he not stalled, his brother would not have passed him.
Yeah.
Now I think Eli may have gotten Hunter, like he got Jet, but like you saw, Chase had to come from and got to a point, and those guys are so good. Like it's hard to get by them. Like last weekend when Jet got by Eli, and Eli just tucked in. It's hard to get by these guys. They're all so good at different parts of the track.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought Hunter rode great. I even thought in the second moto when he finished third, he still rode great.
Yeah.
And I thought Eli, coming from back where he came from, rode great. I just think it's Chase put in a hell of a moto the second moto. Jet had two okay motos. And I think that's okay that it happened, but I want to know why he was so pissed. That's the part that we haven't heard anything about it. No stories, no nothing.
Yeah, I mean, he was angry.
Yeah.
We have a mishap.
We have a mishap. That is all my Diet Coke.
Now we're going again after our little catastrophe and our advertisement break. We are back.
Yes, welcome back to episode 68 of the Beyond the Curve, the MX podcast. We Mop and Globe. There we go.
There you go.
So thank you, Mop and Globe, for the commercial break there. We were talking about Hunter rode great. I don't think Jet rode that bad. I'm very curious as to what happened. I think Eli looks just fine.
I think Eli's going to be back to Eli by Supercross.
I hope so.
And I think we're going to have some really good racing.
Yeah.
And I think coming into this weekend, I'm particularly excited because I don't know if I'm going to get to watch it live. I think we're going to do some Gold Cup, but I'm going to try because we got Hunter. I mean, it's Hunter, Jet, Sexton.
Whoever wins, right?
Pretty much. I think whoever wins is going to take it.
Except if Eli wins. I think there's some... Eli could win and not win.
So the winner will gain 9 points, which is a lot. And I'm going to look at it because I'm really curious.
Yeah. But I thought overall the racing was fine. I thought Chase put in a great moto in the second moto, but I think the biggest story of the weekend is Chase and KTM.
Yeah. Eli cannot win.
He cannot win.
He's 21 points down.
Oh, okay.
So it's in either a Hunter, a Sexton, or a Jet show.
So we got a three-way battle.
Yeah, Jet is 9 points down. So if he wins, he wins.
Okay.
If Sexton wins, he wins. If Hunter wins, he wins. So
that's cool. It's actually cool.
Unless all three of them take each other out somehow, I think that's about the only way that Tomac could win it. But it's possible for Tomac to probably come in third.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to get much more than that.
Still, it's a decent payday for coming back and coming off the couch and being kind of ready.
There's a lot of ties though. Roxon and Webb with 58 points total. Malcolm and Anderson with 48. Justin Cooper and Justin Barshaw 33. Freddie Noren and Harry Kulas 18 points. Grant Harlan and Kyle Chisholm are at 15. So there's a lot of ties that are going to get broken.
That's cool. Well, we'll see. It's going to be exciting, and it's late night, so it's going to be a primetime broadcast.
Yeah, finally
a nighttime.
I'm not such a day race guy.
No, and I think that's what also helped that track be so gnarly was the fact that it was during the day.
Yeah.
Because it just baked. It was hot. It baked. But big story, KTM, Chase Sexton goes on. We want everybody to be honest and open and truthful. He's honest and open and truthful, and KTM doesn't like it.
No, he's not driving with the bike, and he wanted to talk about it. And now he's in trouble.
Yep.
Slap on the wrist.
Guess what, man? You name any other motorsport, NASCAR, they tell you, like, oh, man, the car wasn't good. We don't have this. We don't have that. Yeah. Formula One, those guys will straight up say, car sucks.
You wonder if it's because of what KTM's going through right now. If
with their own.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
They don't want them talking bad about the bike because they're already not selling the things.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that plays a big part in it.
Well, I was actually talking with Jason. I actually went to the first FTR race this weekend as Jason's support crew, bike holder, and man friend. And we were actually talking about that on the way up. Is like they bought Gas Gas. Gas Gas was a good trials bike. Okay, well, keep it the trials bike. You want a trials bike from this group? We got one.
Yeah.
Husqvarna, turn that into your enduro group. We got that. KTM, you want to race motocross? We're ready to race. Boom, you got that. And if you want to do an offshoot team, like a satellite team of one of those brands in each of the series, if you wanted to do a Trials KTM or a Trials Husqvarna or a KTM Enduro or a Husqvarna or Gas Gas motor, do as a satellite team to get the name out there for other people.
Yeah.
But dude, you're selling the same bike across 3 platforms.
Yeah, identical.
The
Gas Gas is a little bit more mild.
Yeah. But it's still the same
shouldn't
platform.
Be. Yeah, it's the exact same bike, but they're known to be a lot slower, which is so.
But on a 450, guess what they're all doing?
Yeah.
The 450s are all going slower.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. On a 450, there are very few 450 riders who are riding a full-powered 450. Because all of them say, dude, the bike's got too much power, we're slowing it down. Because they don't need it. They don't need it.
It just gets them hurt.
It's like in NASCAR. We don't ever talk about it, or sports car racing. A lot of these cars have way more horsepower than they actually use because the horsepower is not usable.
Yeah.
They have retarders on them, or so that when they go into the corner, they hit the gas, the car goes, it's not accelerating because it can't. Otherwise, it would spin out. So we're doing that with 450 motorcycles with traction control because it can't put that much power to the ground.
Yeah, the chance of looping out is so much greater at that point. I mean, you got to slow these things down. And it's the Kawasaki this year, their 24 450 was known as one of the worst bikes they've ever made.
And it's the best.
Because it's really slow.
Yeah.
But like I tell everybody, I'm like, when are you ever going to use a 450 to its full potential?
Unless you're in the desert.
Never.
Unless you're in the desert and you're riding. What closed circuit racing do you race that you need?
Our 5th gear pin.
Yeah.
Ever. On a 450, it ain't going to happen.
No.
You know, if you're 5th gear pinned, you need to learn to ride differently.
So I think you're seeing the bikes be tamed. That's what this whole conversation with the Chase Sexton stems from. People, the bikes the pros are riding are not the bikes that you and I ride.
No.
So they get so hung up on, well, they can't say anything bad about the bike. It's not the same bike. The bike I go buy off the showroom floor is fine for me.
Yeah.
MotoGP, the bikes those guys are racing are not the bikes that we go down to McKibben's and buy an R1. It's not the same bike. NASCAR, you can't go buy one. IMSA, GT3 cars. Yeah, you and I can go buy one. We don't know how to race it. Prototype, we can't get a hold of one. That's not. So the fact that a motorcycle racer is riding a factory bike, that means that bike has been altered by the factory, not for the consumer. I'm allowed to be a little frustrated with what's going on. Consumer, the bike is awesome. For what I'm trying to do, the bike's not working.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, KTM got really butthurt, which I guess they allowed RJ last year to complain about the bike. And he even said, hey, man, I complained about the bike. They worked hard, got the bike good. Their number one rider is complaining about the bike. No, that's not acceptable.
Yeah. I truthfully think it's influence, just their perspective on the influence that he has on consumers.
Yeah.
That would be my only guess. I mean, yeah, you don't want people to talk about your bike badly, but if you got your top rider complaining about the bike, there's something wrong somewhere. Or he's just extremely picky, which is he's known for that too. So.
Yeah. But he's also pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, he proved this weekend, you put me out front, I won't lose. You know, but I think for all these guys, like I said earlier, those top 4 guys, you kind of put them out front, it's hard to get by them.
Yeah.
Those 4 guys are pretty close. Ken Roxon had another great weekend. Ken Roxon, if he gets out front, he's hard to pass, but he's got to get out front. He's not coming from the back to the front, not from 5th, maybe 2nd. I think if you 1st or 2nd, I think it's hard for a guy to go from 3rd to 1st. Eli's done it sometimes, Jet's done it sometimes, Chase occasionally. But you put 1st, 2nd, they might can do it. But you come from 5th, you're not catching those guys.
No, they've already made a severe gap.
Yeah. But no, I think the racing this past weekend, people were complaining about the track. It was hot, blah, blah, blah. I thought the racing was good. I think that variety of track, whether it's Supercross, Motocross, SMX, it's good.
Well, they need some challenges like that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, a lot of these outdoor tracks are pretty challenging. Supercross this year, that we had a lot of mud races, but it gives a different variety of track that they're not used to at all. So I think it was good. I liked it.
Couple quick. Ty Masterpool signs his contract. That's awesome. Ty Masterpool crashed in the grass this weekend.
Yeah, there's a big hole there, dude.
I mean, that doesn't. I mean, I understand. But that
it was funny. I mean,
that didn't look good.
If you're not prepared for that, those holes will get you.
But congratulations for signing with Pro Circuit. That's awesome. But the SMX, I really thought this would be something for him to kind of grasp onto because it's not Supercross.
Yeah, a little bit of a mixture.
And it hasn't gone well for him.
No, I mean, he was out towards the front for quite a while, right? You know, for a little bit, but I don't know. Supercross just does not jive with him.
Thrasher took another digger.
Boys, I think it's time for him to figure something out.
I honestly thought we were talking about that with the Faulkner and the Thrasher and at some point, RJ with the big crash he took last weekend. At some point, when do you pull like RJ? I don't know if it's true or not, but there's rumors that he could take over Dade City Motocross when he's done and run that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. He's got an out. Mm-hmm. He's got a what's Thrasher? But some of these guys may need to start thinking about it because, dude, how many times do you want to get hurt?
Yeah. It gets to a point where, I mean, coming from experience, it gets to a point you're like, I just can't do this anymore.
Faulkner, he had brain surgery. He's hurt his back. Now, silly season stuff. McAdoo's re-signed with Pro Circuit.
Yep.
Faulkner's supposedly signing with Triumph. So's Jordan Smith. So's
Styles
Robertson.
There's a lot more rumors now that Faulkner has signed a $250K one-year deal.
With Triumph.
Yeah.
So they're going to have an East-West presence. But if you look at Triumph, they're making moves. For those of you that only follow motocross, they just signed Paul Edmonston to run their European Enduro team. They signed a really good European Enduro rider already, who's already on the bike. I mean, they were one of the companies that look at the foot pegs he's already put on his Triumph. And it's like a Raptor Technology, really sharp foot peg thing that he's got on his. So Triumph isn't going away.
No, I think that they're just building at this point.
They're just building. So great, they're gonna have an East-West exposure next year because if they have 4 riders, 2 are going east, 2 are going west, and all of those riders can win. Dare I say? None of those riders can win a championship.
No, I don't believe so.
Because they can't make it through a season.
They can win motos. So we'll see how that goes.
But we're starting to get silly season picture dialed in. The Chase Sexton thing is big. Hunter and Jet are set. Eli set. Justin Cooper has re-signed with Star. Mm-hmm. I thought that was pretty interesting because there were rumors about Christian Craig. There were rumors about him testing for Triumph. Well, if Justin Cooper, Eli Tomac, and Cooper Webb are all with Star, they're not taking a 4th rider.
I can't imagine, but their aspect is also very weird. Look how many 250 riders they got.
But they've peeled off a couple already.
Yeah.
So
maybe they get rid of a few of them and bring in another 450.
Maybe, but it's interesting. Honda set. Chance Hymas is now out. Mm-hmm. We thought he was going to be out. I'm thinking, oh, RJ Hampshire. No.
Cooper Webb.
Cooper
dropping down.
Webb.
Yeah, that's wild.
I think it's awesome. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't really care. I think we thought outside of the box.
Mm-hmm.
A la Star says, we don't want to send one rider. They're sending one rider.
Mm-hmm.
They're having to air freight that bike over. Bike's already gone.
It's nice and cheap.
Yeah. So they're sending Cooper. AP is still going. AP has not really looked that good.
No, but maybe he'll do better over there. His style.
I hope so because how easy would it be just to go ahead and put Eli and Cooper over there? They already got the bikes. They got the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Go on with your bad self.
We'll see how it looks. But I mean, they're still going to be racing Hunter and Jet.
Oh, yeah.
So one of them's going to be racing one of them.
Yeah. I mean, the Open and MX1 class is that moto is going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
As someone said, man, Cooper Webb goes over and does like oh my God, I just forgot the greatest retired rider of all time. Oh my God. Ryan Villapoto.
So
what he does at Budds Creek.
Yeah.
No. Cooper Webb, Ryan Villapoto did that when he was riding 250s.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper Webb, I don't even think he's been practicing on a 250. I don't think.
I can't imagine. Probably wasn't prepared for this.
No.
I mean, I'm sure there was talks long before we ever heard of anything.
But I think it's awesome he's going. But you're talking him doing that to Prado, Jet, his own rider, which will be Chase.
Mm-hmm.
Who else you got? Fevra. I mean, you name the top MXGP 1 riders, and then throw Cooper in. And by the way, Garcia already won the MX2 class with like races to go for MX2.
Yeah.
No, man. Let's go have a good performance. Go have some fun. And I saw a stat. Cooper Webb has never raced the Motocross of Nations in America. He's gone 3 times, and all 3 have been in a different country.
Yeah, outside. That's crazy.
Yeah. Someone said Chance Hymas should get the nod next year. I hate to tell you, as an American, I agree with you. But next year's team is going to be Deegan and our top 2 450 riders.
Guys, yeah.
I mean, I hate to tell you, unless Deegan jumps to 450 for motocross next year, which is now becoming a rumor.
Then I could still see him going as 450 anyway.
Yes.
But maybe Deegan's going to come out and have a terrible year. I doubt it.
Well, usually that happens in your sophomore season, and it didn't really happen.
No. But it's always a possibility.
It's always a possibility. But no, I think there's a lot of stories going on. There's a lot of transitions. We saw a bike potentially with electric start for Roxon.
Mm-hmm.
On the big teams, Aaron and Chase are still together. There's rumors that club switching brands. There's still the rumor that Gas is going private because Ducati's coming to Troy Lee. I am so excited as to what happens after this last round.
Yeah, then everything will start flying.
And I'm excited. We saw, what's the guy that got kicked out of Budds Creek for videoing? not Cooksey, the other guy. No, he got in trouble for Smirky, whatever his name is. Slowy, thank you.
Yeah.
He leaked a schedule.
Yeah.
A Supercross schedule.
Pittsburgh.
And there's 2 rounds in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But they don't match. Like there's more rounds in the East than in the West. So I don't know if that's actually true. I will tell you if the round in Tampa is actually a round in Tampa, I already have secured my seats and we'll go and know where I'll be sitting because I sit in the same spot every time I go.
Yeah, we'll be there. We will likely go to Pittsburgh. That's an hour from home. So
it'll be a good excuse for a family reunion.
Well, no, I'll go Supercross, come home, but we'll probably go up there and see if I'm sure some of our friends will go too.
Yeah, because they're saying Pittsburgh and Philadelphia.
Yeah, Pittsburgh would be cool. We've never been there.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to think of where it would be.
In the stadium. It depends what time it is.
Yeah.
If it's early enough, it could be at the baseball stadium.
I mean, you could do Heinz Field up there, the football field, but I mean, you got to play that by the right time of year because it's cold.
Yeah.
And you start getting in the spring, it rains nonstop. So maybe I won't be going.
But no, I just think there's a lot happening. I think there's some team things. There's some riders that we need to see. Are they actually hanging it up? Will they hang it up? Are they going to chase the dream one more time? But no, I think this weekend, it's live. And also, they've been touting this for those Habla Espanol speakers who we may have. They're showing it live on Telemundo. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to make this a big deal. That being said, there's a lot of talk that once NBC's done with this deal, the riders are done with this deal. They don't like this. But I joke because they're all going to go race somewhere else anyway.
Yeah.
They're just going to go make cash somewhere else.
Well, some of them, you'll get some of them, the high-paid guys will probably take a break.
Yeah.
But they're going to be riding at home regardless. So.
But there's nothing that says, hey, man, yeah, you won this. Eli Tomac could have easily said, my injury's not healed.
Yeah, I can't race.
Yep. And no one's going to question him.
Nope.
So they don't have to race. I mean, Cooper Webb went out and cheated so he wouldn't. So he's like, yeah, I'm just hanging out riding. Mm-hmm. I had a good round this weekend, but he lost any chance of winning this last weekend.
Yeah.
Because it's just 3 races. Like, it's just a money grab.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever bonus they get, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's for those guys. That money is kind of not even necessary.
Before we leave, Justin, Derac and I have always said, like, our goal is to organically grow this. There are a lot of videos out that are clickbait. And one of the proprietors, he even said, man, I clickbait because I got to get views. Mm-hmm. Well, he's also, I don't think he's doing the wrong thing. I think he's doing it the wrong way. But what do you expect to happen to you when you do those kind of things? That Derac and I, we're not going to do it. We're just not going to do it. We hope stuff clicks. And if I can ever figure out how to clip parts of the stuff we talk about, we could start putting those out for shorts or TikToks or whatever. But you're never going to see a clickbait piece from us because it's not what I'm a 52-year-old man. I don't want to clickbait anybody. If you like me, you like me.
Well, I mean, just creating a name for yourself that's not a good name. I mean, if you're getting thrown out of places and people are literally trying to break you down, break your walls down and tear you down piece by piece, you're obviously not doing the right thing. Yeah. So, I'm not going to do that. I mean, I make some TikToks out of some of our stuff and, hope it gets catchy, but we'll get there without having the FBI at our house.
Well, we're 2 guys who just love the sport. I mean, we love the amateur side. We love the off-road side. We love the pro side. We love the sport. We're going to talk about it. So our thought was let's just talk about it on tape. But I'm not ever going to we may give a hot take, but that's not going to be the lead on our thumbnail because there's other stuff that we're just talking about. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think this weekend's race is going to be exciting. As a fan, I'm excited to watch the race. I'm excited to talk about the racing. I'm excited to talk about the business that's going to happen after the race. Mm-hmm. I know for you guys, you got racing this weekend. I got to go to a race last weekend and enjoy some time at the racetrack. And my buddy was like, man, thanks for coming. I'm like, I'm at a racetrack. I don't care. Like, I don't care.
Home sweet home.
Yeah, like it's where I want to be. So we're just you see the small number of views. We care, but we don't care because we're just not going to click the one video the guy put out. It's got 32,000 views because when you clickbait it, what's it going to get?
Yeah, it's BS. I mean,
yeah.
A lot of the stuff that goes on there, we're not even going to name names, but a lot of the stuff that goes on there is just BS.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have any room to say any of that. So, I don't know.
I don't want the FBI to come to my house.
No, not really. Not enough problems.
Yeah, I'm good. But we're going to get this out as quick as possible. We will do a season review as quick as we can. You got racing. Where is Gold Cup this weekend?
Dade City.
Dade City this weekend. Okay, so Dade City Gold Cup this weekend. If you're from Florida and you're not doing anything, go watch Gold Cup at Dade City. It's a historic track. Mm-hmm. They're going to race the full big track, so I remember watching guys. They used to have a jump that literally it was like a tabletop over like one of the stadium course It was a tabletop out into the sand back in the day, and it was like you'd watch these guys, you're like, oh my god, and they'd land and just go off into the sand pits and ride, and it's like, what a cool track. Like, it's just a historic track.
Yeah, that was one of those things. It's a full track, so we're like, yeah, let's go out and do it. And something different there. So, and then you can get old friends that are there. So probably take the camper up and just stay for the weekend and enjoy it.
Very good. Well, everybody enjoy the SMX last round. It's the final round of the season, and then it's off season. And we will definitely have an episode recap. Yeah, next week, and then we'll start talking about the business side and the prep. And by the way, I talked with Rylan Munson last week, and he's training in prepping and getting ready. He won a Pro-Am race and is doing preparation. I don't know if he's prepping for next season, or I don't know what he's doing, but he's teaching at PAX.
A lot, yeah.
And he was actually mentioned by Coach Rob as a USMC coach, United States Motocross coach. And Coach Rob is really working hard to get his riders lined up with that, so that no matter where you go coach, you're getting the same message, so that Coach Rob can then work with the physiological part.
Yeah.
So whether Rylan succeeds or not on the track, you got mentioned in a national podcast by one of the best trainers that's out there. And I think that's pretty cool. So congratulations to everything going on with you. Derek, good luck this weekend.
We'll see how it goes.
And we'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.